Good morning and happy Thursday. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Today is just going to be a quick scope, sharing lesson number 2 that I really learned from my Israel and Italy trip. For those of you who don't know, I was in Israel and Italy for 10 days and just got back 2 days ago, and just been processing a lot from the trip and wanted to share some of those things that I have been processing. So good morning. I am so glad to be back too. It was a good trip, but anyway, so yesterday, if you missed yesterday's scope, do you want to say good morning?
Good night.
If you missed yesterday's scope, you want to go and watch that. I shared about how just how I was really anxious about the trip, and my lesson number 1 was the more I do hard things, the easier they get. So if you need some encouragement to step outside your comfort zone and do hard things, or you just like to hear and be encouraged by the fact that I get really anxious and have a lot of anxiety and had a lot of anxiety and fear going into this trip, you can be sure to watch that. It's on catch.me/MoneySavingMom. So today I want to share lesson number 2, and lesson number 2 was that I don't have to agree to love someone. When I found out that I was going on this trip,
Daddy.
yeah, don't block anybody. When I found out that I was going on this trip, and then found out that there would be about 25 different people from different walks of life, different religious backgrounds, it was a little bit overwhelming. And then when I saw the bios and got to meet the people, just realizing how we can put labels on people. We can label, someone can say, I'm progressive, or I'm liberal, or I'm conservative, or I'm Jewish, or I'm gay, or, we have all these different labels that we put on people. And these labels can divide, and they can cause a lot of really, just infighting. And but when we look past those labels and we love, there's so much beauty that can come from that, and there's so much that we can learn from other people. And so I was honestly, one of the things that I was nervous about this trip was just that I felt like I am very conservative, and I felt like I was probably going to be one of the most conservative people on the trip. And we had this Facebook group, and people were introducing themselves, and there were so many people that were introducing themselves, and I realized how different they were from me. And it was a little bit scary to think, going into that situation, knowing that we come from very different theological backgrounds, very different religious beliefs, very different political views, and wondering, how is this going to work? And I just had to choose to go into it. Like yesterday, I talked about the book Presence, and our mindset going into things, how that can really impact our experiences. And so choosing to go into this trip saying, I'm going to look past labels. I'm not going to put that label on that person and see them through that label. I'm going to look past that label and love them for who they are. And I'm not going to let the fact that I know that we have very differing beliefs and very differing viewpoints hold me back from loving them well. And there was so much beauty in that, just really getting to know people and listening to them and learning from them, asking them, just saying, tell me your story. Tell me about you. Tell me about your background. I want to know what it's like to walk in your shoes. What hard things have you suffered and experienced? How did you come to the viewpoint that that you hold? How did you get to where you are? And just really hearing their stories. And it helped me to have a very different perspective. And I realized that, everyone kind of at their core, we all want to be loved. We all want to be affirmed. We all want to know that we have worth and that we have value. And so just looking past those labels and loving people, listening and loving and learning instead of labeling. That's really a lesson that I took from this trip that I feel like for the rest of my life is going to impact me, because I was able to develop these beautiful relationships with people who are very different than me because of that. And I was just thinking of many times in my life, I wonder if I've held back because of a label. If I have kind of put that on someone and I thought, well, we could never have, great conversation, or we could never have a close relationship because of that label, instead of looking past that and saying, how can I love this person well? What can I learn from this person? And how can I really listen to them? So that's what I wanted to just encourage you with today, because it was a very powerful lesson for me to see that play out, and to I want to take that back, and I want to live that out in all areas of my life, and not hold back even if I feel like someone is very, very different than me, because there's so much that we can learn from other people, and if we don't expose ourselves to other viewpoints, to other belief systems, then we won't know what it's like to think like that, to get into their head, to walk in their shoes. And that really can help us know how to love people well. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you today. And tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about how unplugging, mostly for 10 days, impacted me really powerfully, and some changes that I am going to make as a result of being unplugged for 10 days. Some pretty significant stuff, and it was really good. So, go Chiefs, that's right. Alrighty, so I hope you all have a wonderful day. And we also next week are going to get back to doing, finishing up the book club on the Life-Giving Home, but I'm just giving myself grace to kind of slowly ease back into life. I slept in this morning, and just to ease back into life and feel it, instead of feeling like I have to jump back in at full speed. So anyway, have a great day, and I will talk to you later.